From the 27th of March to the 27th of April this year, 2023, Hope and Truth Ministries embarked on a tour of Europe. Our first stop was Roscommon in the Republic of Ireland, where we partnered with Michael and Amy Walsh in ministry at their church, Grace Community Church. I had the privilege of teaching Sunday school children, engaging in outdoor evangelism with Operation Mobilization Ireland, also engaging in men's ministry, preaching at a welcome service for immigrants to Ireland, and then preaching at Grace Community Church's Sunday morning service.
Christ looks straight at the heart of this man, and he sees his excuse, and he brings it out of his heart even before he is able to articulate it. His excuse is the excuse of personal comfort.
The responses we received were positive, edifying to the life of the church. For example, one brother at Grace Community said the Lord spoke to him through one of our sermons, prompting him to follow through in obedience to a pending ministry and life decision. After this, I headed to North Ireland and was hosted by the Rayburn family. On Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday, I preached at the church pastored by Frank Rayburn, Boyne Valley Baptist Church. On Resurrection Sunday, preaching at the sunrise service of Boyne Valley Baptist, on the shores of Mornington Beach, I learned a lesson in being a witness of the Lord Jesus Christ. I was facing the people with my back to the rising sun. Through the 20-odd minutes of preaching, I kept wondering if the sun had risen. I did not turn to see myself for fear of losing my notes to the very strong and cold winds. Then came the moment I knew the sun had risen. I knew the sun had risen because of the warm, reddish-orange glow that shone on the faces of the people who were facing the sun. It was unmistakable. I did not see the sun rising myself, but knew it had risen because I saw its light on their faces. So it is to be with us as disciples of the risen Lord Jesus. People may not see Jesus visibly right now, but when they see the glow of the risen Son of God on our faces, His life shining in and through us, they will know He is risen, and risen indeed. That is what we are about at Hope in Truth Ministries, letting people see and know that the Son of God rose from the dead and lives to give us hope in this life and hope for the life to come. From Ireland, I traveled to London, England, to build partnerships with Ministries for the Future. We connected with two churches there. First, we connected with Little Hill Church in Leicester through one of their elders. The Lord willing, we will visit them on our next trip to England. I also was able to visit the famed Metropolitan Tabernacle in central London, which was pastored by C.H. Spurgeon in the 1800s. After conducting the Wednesday night Bible study, the current pastor, Peter Masters, was very gracious to meet with me for a few minutes and to say that his church would help put us up if and when we came back to London. After Ireland and England, it was time to touch down in Albania. A dear friend of mine has prayed for years for the establishing of a local church and for a church building in his hometown of Korça. Since I also had the privilege of praying with him for this, it was my great privilege to attend the dedication of this church on Sunday, the 16th of April 2023, and see these prayers answered. To God be the glory. The building of the Sovian Bible Church was dedicated by Pastor Erwin Lutzer. Albania also presented other rich gospel opportunities to individuals and larger gatherings which were blessed by God. We spoke twice at the Evangelical Church of Libonik Malish, a sermon which was followed by a Q&A session, Monday for the youth, Tuesday for the adults. I'm learning that youth, irrespective of the country, have questions to ask about God and life and are not ashamed to ask. The youth of Libonik Malish stayed for an extra 45 minutes to have their questions answered after their pastor closed the meeting at the end of an already 1 hour long Q&A session. In Albania, we were also on a few radio interviews and one television interview, the links for which will appear at the end of this video. Thanks for your continued partnership in prayer and financially, which God used to enable this trip to Europe. It is only because of God's help through you that we are able to do what we do in India and various other countries. When you partner with Hope and Truth Ministries, you help us bring the hope of Christ to hurting hearts and His truth to searching minds.